There was ice fishing. Someone got sent back to Mexico. Girls fighting. There was a lot happening in episodes 5 and 6 on the ranch, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting for it.
Yeah. It's always just that you gotta ease
slow.
into it, right?
But see, this song is not amped up enough for the way these episodes have
You're
been going.
not, and the way the jokes have been. And
No,
it's not
see?
even there.
Yes,
We go.
we
like,
have to have some amp. Thank you very much. Hey, AfterBuzzers, thanks so much for joining us. My name is Candice Cruz, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Candice R. Cruz, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host.
Hello, everybody. I am Taquaila. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Taquaila_I am. And please be sure to chat with us at AfterBuzz on YouTube or AfterBuzzTV.com.
Yes, and we are a duo tonight, but we will be a trio next week.
Yes.
We'll finally be reunited.
All together.
And it
finally.
feels so good.
Yeah, we had summer vacays, but now we get back
I think
to
everybody's
real life
back
now.
solid.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm not going anywhere, so we're fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm good. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. It'll be the three of us.
Oh, you sounded really disappointed that I wasn't going
No,
anywhere.
because I
was
want
like,
you to make sure you had your summer
oh,
vacation. Like,
thank you.
yeah, no, go do
I
something
did.
this summer.
I did.
Okay.
My sister's actually coming to visit me, so that's my summer vacation.
There we go. So as
which
long
I'm
as you
really
have one,
excited.
and keep you here too, so that's good
it's,
too.
It's fine. LA can be your own vacation right here.
Definitely.
Yes. Well, I don't think either of the best friends or all their friends are getting any vacations anytime soon.
No.
I love that both episodes were all about friends. My best friend, episode 5, and find out who your friends are, episode 6.
And they both hit the nail in the head with both episode titles because you see, which we'll get into more. But
well, let's just jump right into episode 5. Like, okay, so the boys, like Rooster. Where do I start with Rooster? How do I start with Rooster?
That's probably the better question. How do we start?
How do you start with Rooster? Like this episode, we see him so happy-go-lucky because he wants to go ice fishing,
right?
Because they see the polar bear plunge. And what was the news anchor's name? What was her name?
Oh,
I have to find
look it
it.
up. I didn't even. Yeah.
Tanya Showers.
There we go. Showers.
Tanya Showers reporting, and she pulls off this big like parka and an American flag swimsuit. And so Tanya Showers is the whole reason why they decided to go ice fishing.
Exactly.
But see, Rooster, like as good of a rancher as he is, I don't think he has common sense of how the real world works. I mean, I guess he's kind of sheltered living at the ranch.
Right.
But he doesn't understand that jobs, you do have a boss.
Yes.
Go figure.
You have to kind of report to someone. And I understand
Everyone has a
his
boss.
mentality. He wants to worry about the ranch. They put him in charge of the ranch. But with that comes the paperwork, comes the filing that he still has to stay on top of. And maybe, like we said, because he was so sheltered and worked on the ranch, his own ranch with his father all his life, that he was oblivious and unaware of the other side to that.
Exactly. And it is a big corporate ranch.
Right.
It's not owned by small families, which is the case with, Beau and
Their family. Yeah.
So they don't ever have to worry about all this paperwork and stuff. Or at least Rooster doesn't know about it.
Right. Because either Beau take care or Maggie. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So now Rooster's getting a rude wake-up call, but he still doesn't get it. I mean, he got a big wake-up call later on in the episode.
Definitely, and I kind of feel bad for him, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the wake-up call, and I didn't know how many more times he was gonna get a chance, And
I mean, Rich is putting down the law.
he is, and he was speaking to him in Rooster language, straightforward and direct. And Rooster's still like, well, I'm gonna do what I want to do, or I'm gonna get to it on Monday. Well, it's not ready yet, and I'm just sitting there like, this is going to make him have to crawl back home to his dad. And Beau is going to love it.
Yeah. I mean, I commend him for being like very like standing your ground. Like I wish a lot of people had more standing their ground versus being people pleasers, but that's a little too much in the opposite direction.
Yes. And I think, so I was excited for him. Okay, so first I was excited that he's going off and doing his own ranch, 15 years, and he's worked under his father. I was wondering why Beau wasn't trying to give them more responsibility. So yes, go prove yourself somewhere else, and maybe your dad will start to respect you more on that level. But then on the other side, I was kind of like, no, because this has been in your family since your grandfather, and this is your heritage, your legacy too. So then I felt bad. But to see him go over here to the other ranch and essentially blow it at the end proves Beau's point.
Well, I think he needed the wake-up call. And if you fast forward a little bit, we clearly see, like he's not had one. He's always been catered to, and Colt has already had his wake up call.
Yeah.
Colt had his wake up call with failing at the NFL.
Yes.
So and Rooster continues to prove that to him by memorizing all of his like failed
Fumbles
statistics
and
like,
kick-off returns, everything. Yes.
I was dying.
Then he wanted to know how many touchdowns, the good thing, and he's like, how will I know that?
Why was I supposed to know that one? But I mean, Colt's failed and had to come back. So he's had his like, come to Jesus moment.
Right.
And Rooster hasn't had that. He's always been.
It's very true.
He may not have been the favorite son, but he's always had to. He's been taken care of.
Right.
He drags along Umberto, and they're a team on ice fishing, and then of course Colt and Abby.
Yeah, but more so just Abby.
Abby was killing it at
She
ice
was,
fishing. What was she at, number 7?
7. Everybody else was 0.
And
So
I died when Colt tried to catch the phone.
Oh.
It's the moisturizer.
Really?
What was he using on his fingers? What was it?
I have no idea what it was called.
I don't know. He moisturized
Just-
them to make it like easier for the
hooks to go through everything. Yeah, I don't know what specifically the material was, but those moments, and especially going back to the early episodes when he's talking about his Uggs, and even when he bought Beau Uggs for Christmas, it just makes me
very like Metro.
What? There we go.
Metro
So how
is
would
the
you-
word.
Yes, perfect word.
Yes.
So those instances make me really laugh at Colt. Like
The one-liners are great.
they really
They're
are.
so good.
And they're him essentially, but now that he's back on the ranch, they're him, but it's kind of like out of place. It's odd. Like, your moisturizer here? Really? We work on a ranch.
Well, he wants
Take your
to
time.
take care of
Your
his fingers.
Uggs? Really?
You get calluses working on the ranch.
You're right.
Like, I
Gloves
mean, I
are
get him. He's
supposed to
gonna
help,
have
but
some
yes,
nice hands.
that's
A little
true.
soft.
So I think that juxtaposition there between the two to me always just makes me laugh throughout the episode.
I love it. I mean, but it was all fun and games, and then of course, like I never thought this show would be so heavy. It's like so
No.
lighthearted and funny, like all the one-liners, but it's not like the happy-go-lucky little show.
Not at all. And I think part of it, if we can kind of move on a little bit.
Yeah,
into,
going into Colt having his conversation with Rooster.
Yes, I kind of just how they change it from scene to scene. It's kind of like a little roller coaster ride because you just finished laughing at whatever one liner or whatever joke was told, and then it's like the serious moment where they have to come together and have the conversation. Or even when Beau and Maggie were talking, and Beau didn't want to necessarily call Brenda his date, or that they were going out on a date.
Yeah.
Brenda or Deborah?
Brenda.
Okay, Brenda, that he was going out with Brenda on the date, but it was like a serious moment for a second. So then I felt like I needed to remove my smile and be like, oh, okay, let's see how deep this may go into. But
it's life.
true,
That's what I like. I mean, they cuss, they laugh, and then they're serious, and then they laugh again. It all worked out.
That's true.
The macaroni artwork, though, if we're talking about Beau, I know we're jumping around a little bit here, guys, and my headphones are falling off. I apologize. The macaroni artwork that Rooster did, I mean, kudos. He's pretty good.
It really was spit on image of Beau. Spit on image.
It was
Yes.
so good. I love that Colt was like, "Oh, you kept my drawing or whatever," and Beau's like, "That's the throwaway pile."
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
thanks, Dad.
okay."
That's
He
it.
takes it, he like throws it under his arm and just waddles
Keep
out.
it going.
It's so good. But I mean, Rooster needed someone to show him up a little bit, to like explain like, this is work. Like, if you gotta work, dude, you gotta work. Like, go do your job. Like, we can go fishing anytime.
Right.
Like, he
And
makes it simple for him.
I was surprised to hear that from Colt, just to give him that information, but yet because of the way Rooster imagines or perceives Colt, that he failed in the NFL, now he's back at home, like he still had that I guess ego mentality, like you
Chip on
can't
his
tell
shoulder.
me nothing. Very much so, that chip on his shoulder, like you can't tell me nothing, you can't correct me. So then again, he finds out that he's gonna be on an island by himself. And then it was Umberto, like, come on, we have to talk some sense into him, try it. And we end up seeing that Umberto was trying to actually save his life too, in the midst of having that conversation
well,
with
because he just
Rooster.
got a house. Good job,
Yes.
Umberto.
It
He
was.
got
Very
a
good
house.
job.
A house he can't afford, but he got
like
a
they
house.
said, it's the American way.
Yes.
In the show.
That's
so,
pretty much how
you know,
everybody does it, right?
Yeah.
You just get a house. You know.
Yes. Sadly, but yeah. So just to see that conversation that take place, and he's still like knocking at the brick wall, that neither of them still got through to Rooster. So then in the end, we see he kind of gets fired he does.
Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We jumped into episode 6 real quick.
Sorry. Yes. So I'll stay there for a second. But yeah, so just them trying to really speak into him and just kind of both of them tag team. And I really appreciate it, especially Umberto trying to, and I keep in my mind, I hear him saying from the last episodes, Umberto. He wants the girls to say, Umberto. And then they're like, no.
I thought it was Alberto, which is my dad's name. So I was like, oh, Alberto. But then it's Umberto.
Yeah.
Umberto.
So I keep hearing that and seeing that
doing the little
image.
Spanish accent
And the
whenever I
girls.
can in there. I'm like, which, we did find out some cool trivia. If we're still talking about this because we're still on ice fishing topic. There is a trivia. Did you know in this episode, Colt and Umberto reminisce about a time when they went ice fishing and their truck sank when the ice melted? A similar thing happened to their characters in an episode of that 70s show when Kutcher's character Kelso has his van break through and sink into the lake while ice fishing. I love that I'm doing this the whole time.
Get into one more point. Here
Trivia.
we go again.
Here we
That's
go.
how you know it's
This is
important.
it.
That finger.
It's very important.
Pay attention.
But yes, no, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yes, I think so. Because you kind of, it's essentially maybe same formatting of the show. That 70s show went away, so now it's the ranch kind of.
I just
another
love the
adventures and just
reuniting.
getting through. Yes.
I don't want to compare the shows because they're complete and polar opposite shows.
Yeah.
And I feel like the format's even a little bit different. But I just like that these people like working together. It's
Still
almost
go
like
through.
those comedy groups of people in
There we
movies
go.
that they're always together.
Yeah.
You know, like Adam Sandler and his whole crew, and then Will Ferrell and his whole crew. I
Very
feel like
true.
it's almost like reminiscent of that, but it's very much its own identity of the show.
Okay.
In just my opinion.
That works, yes.
I mean, 70s and 2017 is a big jump.
Very much so. Huge. So, yeah, that's
But-
the difference. But it's just the more so the comedy layout of it. The, like, in-your-face slapstick here, the comedy for me just going between both shows.
Yeah.
But, again, it goes to, like you just said, all of them still working together, all of them still having that working relationship and how they bounce off of each other.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
so
works.
great.
Yeah.
So great. I mean, obviously the boys had to go after and chase after Rooster and explain to him why he should actually work. And then Abby got a little of excitement
She
in
did.
episode 5. I think she had a little girl crush
I was
on
wondering.
Tanya
Showers.
Showers.
Yes. I was wondering that too. Like the way she said, well, it doesn't have to be.
No, I think she literally had a
Oh.
girl crush.
Okay.
I mean, kudos to them living in a small town and being like, you know,
Next door to, yeah.
right
could
there.
be.
But she was, hi, Tanya Summers, come on in.
And then for her to tell Rooster about it, and he's completely
was
upset that he
so
missed it. He's like,
good.
no, tell me the story. Tell me what happened. But yeah, I thought that was really nice.
She came in the wrong hut, and we don't know where it went from there.
We don't. And I was kind of mad. I wanted to know, honestly, like, because
I mean, girl, you know where that went.
But I wanted to see.
Oh,
I wanted to
I
see.
mean, Netflix is ambitious, but I don't know how
They
ambitious
could.
they're going on this show.
All right, that's true. But yeah, because it just left that little cliffhanger just a little more. Like if Tanya actually came in, sat down, and they conversed, they hung out, or whatever. Yes,
Maybe.
just that far
Just a
would have
little
been
bit.
good, right?
It would've been
Because it
great.
left me hanging. I'm like, so did she come in? Or what
Well, we
happened?
know Beau had a little bit of love going on in this
did.
episode.
And at first, I was excited for him, but then you get to the episode. I mean, the part where they're at dinner and he can't stop thinking about Maggie. So I'm like, oh. And then I just go back to my feeling like I never wanted them to get a divorce in the first place.
I
So
think they'll
kind
get
of-
back together eventually.
I'm hoping so. I think it's like so much history there that they still are living their lives and still being brought back to each other, regardless if it's a memory or someone said something. It still brings them back to the root of who they've been all their lives.
But how did you feel about the relationship between Brenda and Beau? Like, do you think that there is sparks there, or like, how do you? I mean, I feel bad because like poor Brenda, you can really tell that she likes his company.
Yes.
She even says, you know, haircuts like that are not supposed to take 2 hours.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. A 2-hour haircut, really? Okay.
For that much hair. I mean,
Yes.
it takes me about 2 hours, but I mean, I
You have
got a
very
lot of
long
hair.
hair. Yes.
Versus,
Bo doesn't
He does not.
leave his head. But no, so I feel it's kind of one side. I think Bo jumped in too quick, and I think that's
do you
what
think
kind
it's
of.
one-sided?
Well, as far as where they're ready to be, because Brenda is ready to date, to be out, to explore their relationship with that. Bo's not there emotionally quite yet.
I think Beau's just ignorant.
Really? How? Like, just because
Ignorant in the term means
how to date and
no, I think ignorant just of not knowing. I don't think he understood. Like, ignorant means a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? So he's not aware of the fact that Brenda actually does have feelings. Like, even from the get-go, when Maggie says, you're going on a date, he's like, I'm having dinner with a friend. Like, I think he didn't realize how much Brenda liked him until she touched his hand. Oh. Like, ignorance is bliss, right?
I think he legitimately
did not
everything
know.
in the box as stern and uncomplicated, like, as he is or he appears to want to be.
I just don't think he knew how far in she was.
Okay.
Maybe he did know, like, she has feelings, but he thought he could control it.
Yeah.
Control the feelings and make it, like, kind of...
lead it on his own term, right.
But... because he clearly, as soon as she touched his hand, he was like, I can't do this.
And then she had to take it back. Like, oh, I was just playing.
Right.
But to not make herself feel so bad. But
I think that's a whole nother situation, too, though. Like, you lost your husband and going through a divorce. It's not like you're dating for the first time. And
right.
he's someone ghosting you. He's like, listen,
see, well, and going into that a little more, I think we're still in episode 5. Sorry.
Yes, we're in episode 5.
Okay. But even when he goes back to the bar?
Yes.
And then he tells Maggie that, you know, she was still there. He still remembered what she ordered that day, the salad and everything. And then they just start dancing with one another. And I'm like, so that's what made me believe that he's not, like, emotionally there yet. Because he still ends up back in Maggie's arms, or Maggie still ends up back in his arms at the end of that night, even after, you know, having that nice dinner and good conversation with Brenda. I think she's going to be outgoing. I think she's going to be fun, someone to kind of maybe rock him off his boots a little, but I still think he's just not ready for that change.
I think he's still holding on hope.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he didn't want the divorce. We know that. Like,
right.
Maggie's the one that wanted the divorce.
Right.
So, but even I loved the symbolism that they had within the show of when they're cleaning out the box of, like, all their old papers, and she's like, the one letter that showed you have heart. And he says, I was listening to the radio and heard Patsy Cline, and it made me think of you. And then she's playing Patsy Cline, and she's like, I couldn't stop thinking about you. I feel like I was reminiscing. And the song that's playing is letters to you, or letters of something. And I was just like, oh.
Yes.
It was so sweet.
It was. And that's part of more of the reason
sweet.
why I'm like, just get it together. Like, get back together. That's
and
all.
Maggie needs this, like, of some type of relationship. I think as much as she's fighting that she wants to have another relationship and that she doesn't want to be back with him because she doesn't want to go back down the same bad path.
Right.
Like, she's wanting to give up her bar in episode 5. Like,
Yes.
she's set on giving up
Selling
her
it,
bar
right.
and selling it. So, like, what do you have left? Like, you've divorced your husband, your kids are grown, and now you're giving up your bar.
And that's what Beau asked her, you know, how do we move on? How do we do
Where do we
this?
go
And
from
she
this?
was like trying to figure it out herself, but, you know, they'll figure it out together.
She wants to
easier
date
separately.
Trevor with a man bun.
With him. Yeah.
I mean, if there's Trevor with a man bun out there, hit me up.
And
Trevor.
who will teach Beau his yoga poses to combat his anger. Like, I
really
thought
wouldn't
that was
take a sip, but
hilarious.
I couldn't do it.
Sorry, I'll let you go ahead and do that before. But, and also two-part, just backing up a little bit, I don't know. For me, I kind of wanted to see a little bit maybe of jealousy from Maggie because he's trying to go ahead and date Brenda for, you know, whatever his
Girl,
purposes
did that
was.
not read as jealousy
but I
when she
didn't.
was talking about the date at the very beginning?
No, see, that's what I
didn't
wasn't
read
for
as
sure.
jealousy to you?
I read no because I didn't
Girl,
know
there are
if
a lot
she
of
was
girls that
trying to be
problem.
like subliminally funny or joking, or if it really was just like, okay, who is it? Where are you going? What's the name? What's her name? So I couldn't really read it through, so I didn't take off as jealousy. No, definitely not.
Girl, a lot of people probably jealous of you and you never read it, right?
You are absolutely right.
Girls
I
are
don't.
passive aggressive as you know what. So
I'd be
when
like,
there's
oh.
jealousy, it is like
They had a problem.
you're not going on a date. Well, fine. I'm just going to take something, or like just her sly little remarks. That's passive aggressive as all get out.
So I missed that. It went completely over my head. Then I was like,
You're
okay,
very
so
lucky,
she's just
my dear.
joking because
I read it passive aggressive very much. I'm like,
No.
oh, she's mad at me, and she will just be the nicest person
I
to
wouldn't
my
think
face.
nothing of it. So yeah, it would probably make the other person madder because I'm not catching on to those clues. Sorry.
Note to self: never make you mad.
I would
Because I would probably be more mad at you.
you would. Yes, you would. I would be so oblivious to the fact that you're mad. Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, girl.
Okay, so then it was, to my point. That's why I say
She's
so it was. She was jealous
jealous.
about it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense now to me more as to at the end when they were dancing and she reveals all of that to him too.
And she gets the phone call.
Yes.
That the ice fishing trip didn't last very long.
Not long.
Well, I love that Colt obviously finds Rooster, and I love that Umberto's like, you were right. I never thought I'd hear those words about you come out of my mouth. And you're smart and you knew where to find him.
But, and then so we go into this bar brawl. Are we still in the same?
Yeah. Okay. We're at the bar. They're not in the inn yet.
I missed what was the reasoning for Rooster getting into the fight.
Oh, he says it in jail. So he goes and he's mad. He still doesn't want to go back to like the reason why he has to go to work is because they are doing a new tracking system on the cows and needing to get that done by Monday. And he said no, he didn't want to do it. He's still high on his own horse, no pun intended, but pun intended, that he doesn't want to go back and do it. So he goes to get another beer and gets in a fight.
Okay. So that's what I just missed in the middle.
Why
like
they got in a fight?
Right, yes.
So fast forward, they get arrested. Spoiler alert.
Uh-huh.
If you haven't watched the episodes, go watch the episodes. Stop watching us and go watch the episode. But so they go to jail and he was like, why did you end up getting in the fight anyway? He obviously was making a joke. He said they were making a joke about my hair and how could you make fun of this hair? But it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
They got in a fight because he was talking crap about Umberto and he said his kind and was talking crap about him.
See,
and so he fought for Umberto.
Oh, see, now that makes what I was gonna say totally
Case
like I
in
would
point,
have been
my best friend.
Yes. Okay. It all circles around to it now.
My best friend. And it's also very symbolic of like the relationship between Beau and Maggie of being their one and only best friends. Like
right.
They may have been relationship, but it was a best friend kind of thing.
And that goes into the point where he was really feeling so bad, or that was his reality check, that once they find out, their officer comes in and lets him know that Umberto is being deported. And he's like, oh, shoot, so this is really my fault. Now I don't have my best friend. He just owed his own house. He doesn't have the coworker with him now to help him with the ranch and counting all the cow. And there's nothing he can do about that.
And Umberto's been around for forever.
Yes.
Like he's grown up there. They've been friends. So like clearly it was probably, the guard was a friend of theirs too. Like everybody knows everybody in this town. I think everybody knew that Umberto was in the country illegally, but it was like, they loved him, so they're going to take care of him. Like they're not going to say anything.
And he did his best to stay out of trouble, like he said, under the speed limit if need be.
But once you're in the system, like there's nothing else you can do.
Right.
Like he was kind of screwed.
Colt tried.
But poor Umberto was so sweet.
He was.
He's just like, I just need to go.
And
like,
that's why I hope something happens next episode to reverse that. So yeah, they have to. They have to.
They'll get him back.
He's like he said, he's the brother. A little bit maybe more than Colt is, but he still is the brother. That's a horrible
wake-up call to have, that someone gets deported rather than just, hey, go do your job.
Find like the two of them, and now,
Right. But I love that, Colt does rise to the occasion and say, like, we're going to figure this out. Like, why are you giving up so easily? And he's like, well, Umberto's gone. Well, he's like, it's still not over yet. Like, you need to keep your job. Like, this is a job that people would kill to have, that you're just slacking away. Like what? And I think that's for a lot of people right now. Like I think that's a common thread within like not only millennials but just in the work system in general. Like people take for granted that there's a lot of people out there that don't have jobs, that need jobs, that want jobs, and Umberto's willing to do the job.
Anything job, actually, yes.
So that was pretty much the end of episode 5. They get bailed out. Everything's fine and dandy. Umberto's gone for now. Move into episode 6, find out who your friends are. So my best friend, now I lost my best friend. Now I'm finding out who my friends are.
And he's on the island. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we moved over to the girls because we talked a lot about the boys in the last episode. Abby got a little bit in there, but not a lot. And now I was waiting for this to happen. We talked about this as predictions.
Yes.
About when Abby and Heather were going to have their full-on fight to one another.
Because it's bound to happen. And
yeah, you got baby mama and then you got girlfriend. Like, come on.
I don't want to jump. I'm always a jumper because I'm just flashbacking of
what
happened.
We're already
so we'll
6,
go
so
there
no
and we'll come back.
Let's
do
it.
Just like Abby said, and I was wondering if there was going to be a point where she said, she had to apologize to Heather for being just out out of place, being rude and mean, basically, because she's jealous. And then I was like, okay, so here comes her humbling moment. And then she was like, because I've always envisioned that I would be the one to give Colt his first child, or to have Colt's first child. I forgot how she words it. But then it's like where my heart sunk for her. I was like, oh. So that's the reality that she's now going to have to deal with, like we were talking about last week, because you've had this vision of this person for so long, since you were teenagers in high school. And of course he went along to do his thing. You went to college to do yours. And now you're back and have the opportunity to kind of pick up where you may have envisioned it. And it's kind of starting with you, but you're like the third wheel at this point.
Well, we really just jumped all the way in
we
there.
did. I had to, because I couldn't wait for that. Sorry.
No, I mean,
course,
if we go rewind a little bit, though,
yes.
Where they end up showing up
at Beau's house.
Unplanned at Beau's house. And I love that Abby says, I owe you an apology. And Heather says, I hope you know that that's not an apology. That's owing me an apology. Mm-hmm. And then the fight happens. Like, we jumped to the happiness.
Yes.
But there was a big fight in the middle of, like, these two women really arguing their solid points. Like, Abby went out on a limb and just full on, like, took the daggers out, being like, listen, like, I broke up with him, and then the first thing that you do is you go and have sex with him, and then on top of it you did it unprotected, and then that was just like a dagger to the heart. Like,
it was.
She doesn't know. That was like a low blow.
Yeah,
like,
she knew. I mean,
that's
you're
low
that
blow.
angry, you're coming from those emotions.
And like Heather said, it was an accident. That could happen to anybody. You cannot assume anything.
That's
like
how she
that.
went
That
in
was
there and just wanted to.
That was rude.
Yeah,
like, that was a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And I love that Heather stood up for herself. She was like, you think you're so high and mighty that you're a high school teacher in this small town, and all you can think of me as this stupid student that you wouldn't have had anything to do with if Colt wasn't there.
Right.
Sorry, I just got on my soapbox.
You did, but you went in good.
It was just, it was heart-wrenching for both, but like, and then Beau just being like, pie's
done. You have his voice down completely, yes.
Pie's done. There you go.
But yeah, because again, he's like he said, the small talk and the drama is not his lane.
No.
He doesn't know how to handle it, or doesn't want to be handled.
Like, if I'm having to wait here for an hour, I love pie, but I don't love it that much.
Side note, I do love that he took that little horse that he had and he made to Heather as a gift for the baby. Yes. I was like, oh, he does have a little bit of heart in there. It is.
It was great because we don't see a lot of, like, we've seen more and more of loving Beau lately.
Right.
I think him being a pop is going to change him a little bit. Mm-hmm. But him bringing in that horse and saying, you're carrying my grandson or my grandchild. Right. I don't know whether it's a boy or a girl yet. And so that makes you, part of the family now. Mm-hmm. You're now a Bennett. And I will take care of you in any way. And I was just like, oh,
yes,
so sweet.
And then he messed it up because she went in and gave him a hug. She was like, "This is even better than
the Geico commercial."
Yeah, it's gonna make me cry more than the Geico commercial.
He's so small, and the world's so big.
Like,
it was
really?
just like,
exactly.
Girl, the hormones though.
But yeah, so she goes in to hug him because that really was a touching moment, and to hear that from him, and then he kind of like doesn't
and
embrace
now
her.
It's gonna be the godfather on top of the grandfather.
Yes.
That's gonna be confusing.
It
Godfather, grandfather.
Which one? Just father.
Put on your hat one day. I'm gonna be one.
Take off the other. Yeah, it'll say which one I am today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sorry, I had just popped into my mind about the gift that he brought into it, and I thought that was a really nice gesture. But yeah, so when they're finished, I kind of wanted him to kind of say something to one girl, because actually Heather ends up storming out after that, and Abby's just left there when he's like, pie's ready.
You have high expectations about.
I do. I really do, because I want to see just a little more of him.
He's a man
his
of few
character.
Words.
Because I like when you're in that environment, like maybe you're standing by and we just maybe hear a fight or hear just a disagreement of that nature. It's really awkward, but at the same time, just something to like ease the moment through, or just call her out. Like you said, that was a low blow. You know that. And then Heather only retorted because you hit so low.
And I love that even like Colt calls her out on it too. She's like, well, Heather came over and we got in a fight, and he's like, well, then fix it.
She's like, are you taking her side?
Oh, I mean, come on. Like, Abby is a little bit of a spoiled little person in this episode, I have to say. Like, I get where you're coming from. You're upset, but you knew, and she even calls herself out on it later, you knew when you took him back what you were getting yourself into. So do not go back on it and be rude to the mama when you took the boy back.
Right. I just don't know if she realizes the extent, or we'll see maybe more as far as their characters evolve and situation does too, the extent of what she's gonna have to play or have to deal with or be comfortable with.
Because like Colton. Heather even called her out too. She was like, you're privileged. Like, you went to college, you come from a good family, and here I am living with my mom and my sister and her two kids. So like, Abby is being a little bit spoiled in the sense of everything, because she's like, she doesn't realize what she has.
Yeah.
You know, as much as woe is me, I don't get to have Colt's first baby, but
there we go. Yes.
But come on.
He's still there. He's still wanting you.
Exactly. Like, girl, you're winning on all of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
And Heather's 23. Like, she's a baby.
She is.
She's a baby. And in comparison to Abby, like, Abby was her teacher.
And even in that role, right, you kind of still, maybe even Heather could have role model-ish if she played this better without being in her feelings and jealousy, and that's natural.
Abby should have been a role model.
Abby could have, to Heather.
Yes.
Sorry.
So I was like, wait a second. They look a lot alike,
they
too.
They do, and I have to always be conscious of who is who. But if she wasn't, and this is natural and this is just TV, but if she wasn't jealous and upset of the fact that she's not the one giving Colt his first child, that she could have kind of mentored the situation and Heather a little more to make everything comfortable. But that's not probably going to happen because of her situation, her feelings. I don't think so.
Well, they had a very nice touching moment at the end.
Colt forced. And by the way, I was so glad of Rooster giving Colt that information.
Right.
Colt went to him and was like, what should I do? And Rooster was like, well, I think you got to get them both together and talk and sit them down. And I was like, oh, Rooster? Okay, I wanted to applaud him for giving Colt that information. Like, okay. But yes, so
while they're hunting after a mountain lion, which I love.
Right.
Which, can we talk a little bit about Rooster? Like, we're not done with the Rooster plot line.
Not at all.
There was a twist. He did get his wake-up call. He's fired. What is it? What was that line? That you're fired, just the way that he said it. Just you're fired. What was that show?
It was
The Apprentice.
Yeah, there we go.
You're fired.
That's it.
I don't want to try that.
I don't. Not at all.
But yeah, so Rooster gets his wake up call, like, and I think Rich was the one that gave it to him. He was like, "Dude, you still don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I work for someone. You work for someone. There's a reason why I still have my job, because I work for someone. Like,
and now you don't.
No,
it's over.
Well, I mean, he had grounds to fire him. He said, did you not get into a bar fight this weekend? He's like, I won a bar fight this weekend.
You're still like, oh, come on.
Digging your hole.
Yes.
Then you get drunk and driving in the company car to go on an ice fishing trip you're not supposed to go on. And in turn, one of our employees got deported. Yeah, you're fired.
3 strikes.
And he said unsubscribe. It is one of his emails. I was dying. He's like, you responded to the company email saying unsubscribe.
I might have to do that to somebody one day just to see if they catch it off.
Unsubscribe you today. Thank you.
We need one of those buttons on any social media.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe.
On all of it.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, he's fired. He's gone.
Yeah. And I'm trying to still hold out hope on that situation. I don't know what he's going to try to do to get that job back. Because one, I don't think he wants to have to go back to Beau and tell Beau that he failed.
Well, moving into predictions.
Gonna gravel into that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay.
So what do you think? Oh.
Yes.
I love this. This is my favorite part
Mine
of the
too. Because it makes me get serious now. Pay attention. I always want to say that. Anyways, so yeah, I don't think this is really the end, or at least I'm trying to hold out hope that it's not the end for him. He's gonna do whatever Rooster thinks to do to get the job back and be more serious and try to be more focused with it. I don't know if that can go into play with maybe helping Umberto stay in the States or not. Who knows? But I don't think like, he'll try to do whatever, it'll be a last resort before he has to go back to Beau and say, like, can I come back home? Can I come back to work? Because I technically failed. I got fired. I messed up. Yeah. I don't think he's going to want to do that. His pride, I think, is not going to let him do that. So I think we'll see some Rooster ploy just to get his job back.
I kind of agree with you. I think that he'll end up figuring out some way, not on his own. I feel like he's going to have some help.
Right.
But I do think that he will try and figure out how to get a second chance. I either think that, but I also think he would probably go towards Maggie to help out with the bar before he would go back to Beau to help back at the ranch.
Very true. Okay, I can see that as well. What are you thinking about Heather, Colt, and Abby?
See, that's the thing. Like, I really don't know where things are going, because to be honest, like, the only thing that was left undone was, you know, Rooster getting fired. I feel like the girls tied it up in a nice, neat little bow. You put two girls in a room and talk it out, like, eventually they're going to come out as friends. And I feel like they have to. Like, they realize, like Colt said, we're having a baby together. Like, we, all three. You got to figure out how to deal with this, because I'm not losing either of you. So this is just the way it's got to be.
Right.
And I thought that was very mature of him.
It was very mature.
So I think that they'll have their ups and downs, but I honestly think that Abby and Heather will end up becoming best friends.
Okay. I'm on the fence still. I think it's going to be too much for Abby and her.
I don't think it'll be too much for her till the baby comes.
Okay,
I think
that's
it'll be
where
fine
to come
during
through.
pregnancy. I think she'll be very helpful. She'll love on her. She'll be best friends. But I think when the baby comes and then the attention gets pulled from her, or she realizes that she's holding his baby that's not hers, I think that's when she'll have her like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I'm with you on that one.
I think that they'll be fine during pregnancy. I think it'll be okay throughout that.
I'm with you.
Totally so I feel like that's a long way from now.
Yeah. 2 more seasons, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
These shows,
she'll be pregnant for a while.
Exactly.
Poor Heather. That poor
girl. Never want to be TV pregnant.
What do you think? We talked about Rooster and where we think he's going. Like, I really don't know. Like, I think that he'll probably end up trying to get his job back and get Humberto back. I would love if he went down to Mexico to try and pull him back. That would be cool.
Good idea.
Can we do this?
We're gonna see it.
Don't tell me, because I know that it's all on Netflix.
Yeah,
right now, so
and we haven't. Yes, we haven't watched it. No spoiler alerts and comments, please.
Yes. But also, where do you think that Beau and Brenda and Maggie will leave off? Because we know Maggie. We forgot Maggie's keeping the bar. Yay!
Oh yes, definitely. Because I didn't want her to give that up either. Right.
There's a lot going on.
I think Brenda, I think she left it at dinner when she said, well, you know, when you're ready, just come back and get a haircut.
Do you think you know where to find her? Get a haircut?
No. Not by her, because of her insinuation that, when you come back and get a haircut, that means you're ready to pick up back dating or getting to know one another.
No, I know. I was meaning, but I don't. In, like, do you think he'll want to go get a haircut?
You see how that just... Sorry.
Girl, we need to work on your, like...
Yes, my languages.
Yes, you're very literal.
I am.
And it's fine. I love it.
I don't.
I feel like
it just passed by me. Like, I'm sorry. I'll take some cues from you. We'll get it together by the end of this season.
You think that he'll get a haircut?
Yeah.
Do the shoulder roll a little bit more?
Hard. Like,
do you think he'll get a haircut?
I'm here now, yes. But no, still to the question, I don't. I think he's really... It's just too much history, too much life, too much family planning. The businesses it's just him and Maggie. Yeah. I
think so too. The fact that she's not burning down the bar to get insurance policy, and she's not selling it to, what was it? They were going to make a charging station plant or like a parking lot.
Yes.
And you know that's Beau's worst nightmare.
Yeah. So I don't think he's gonna move on. I think we might see the tables turn for a minute and her actually try to do dating life, because she feels like something is missing, regardless if it's travel, more
Maggie?
Adventure. Yes, Maggie.
I think Maggie would do that. I agree with that.
Yeah, but I still think after that stage in her life, she's coming back, and it's still gonna be her and Beau.
I think so too.
He's just gonna wait it out.
But I think it's gonna take a while.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like we can't let the show just
get there that quick. That's just me. No, it's gonna be TV drawn out.
I think she'll probably end up having a boyfriend within the next few episodes.
Oh wow, okay. Before end of season.
I think she's trying to prove a point. And it may not even be a point to him. I think she's trying to prove a point to herself.
Yeah.
that she doesn't need him anymore, that she's moved on from that chapter in her life, that she wants to be the independent woman and move on. But yeah, when you love someone, you love someone.
Yeah. And it's
sometimes
be there.
Grass is greener on the other side than what's already right in front of you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot in 2 episodes.
It is. I was like, did we catch everybody?
I hope the next 2 episodes are a little bit lighter.
A little bit.
Guys, last week was heavy, and then this week, like, people getting deported, girls fighting, like I said in the intro.
Yeah. Breakups, divorces,
bar burning down.
Retreats, yes. Firing of jobs.
Killing a mountain lion, like all the things happened on the ranch.
I actually wanted to see part of the mountain lion or them shooting or running or chasing. I really did, but maybe in another episode.
The ranch is no shortage of excitement.
None at all. Yes.
At all. And I was very dressed appropriately for the ranch today,
You
guys.
do. You had your skirt, your boots, your jacket. Yes. All you need was a hat and you'd have been good to go.
Girl, I have it at home. I just didn't bring it. It doesn't fit underneath my headphones.
You know what? Oh, yeah. I forgot these things are here. I would say we should bring it next week.
My cowgirl boots aren't here. They're back home.
Oh, okay.
We wore them for a wedding.
Oh, that was really nice.
Cute.
Yeah.
I have my gray cowgirl boots. I could, send some pictures, style them up a little bit.
Yes, we have to.
I loved them. They were great.
Yeah. At a wedding too. That's really nice.
Yeah,
something different. Change it up.
Yeah,
I like that theme.
Yeah.
Stepbrother is a ranch.
He owns a farm.
Or owns
yes, he has
That's
his own
what I remember you saying. Yeah.
And they got married at the lake, and we had there was a big barn clubhouse that we had the reception in.
That sounds like it was really nice.
It was.
We needed to have.
We need to have that for Colt.
Yeah, exactly.
Colt and Abby. We're gonna have a wedding just like that.
And we already have everything planned out for the two.
Call me for the wedding, guys. I already have the attire ready.
Gotcha.
Yes. Well, that pretty much wraps up episodes 5 and 6, guys. So thank you so much for joining us this week. And we'll be back as a trio.
Yes, finally. Bryce is going to be here.
Bryce will be here, and you will be here at the same time.
We will.
Same time, because he was here first episode.
Right.
But guys, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for AfterBuzz TV. Give us a thumbs up. Comment below. Let us know what you thought about the episode and podcast. You can listen to us. Just find us everywhere. There's a lot of places to find us. And you can find me. My name is Candice Cruz on all of my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
And I am Taquaila. You can find me Instagram and Twitter at Taquaila_I am.
All right, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.